and Dr. Shilpi Mohanmal will give you special aircraft from Central Asia because she's going to chair this session, and we have requested her to join us. Shilpi Mohan ma'am, please come. साक्षात में आइए सामने. हाँ, साक्षात में आइए. Yes, namaskar, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Dr. Shilpi ma'am is a cardiologist. He is a heart specialist. और किसी को भी अपना दिल चेक कराना हो, जिनका दिल तेज धड़कता हो, कम धड़कता हो, ना धड़कता हो, जैसा भी हो, we should go for the telemedicine also nowadays. That's what we believe in. So I would request Dr. Shilpi Mohan ma'am to chair this session, and we take Captain Sudesh Kumar ji. And meanwhile, ma'am, permit me, I'll get others also. Subhash Verma ji has also joined us. He's also going to be with us. He believes in yoga, meditation, spirituality, and wellness. And Captain Saab believes in adventure. He says soft adventure, hard adventure, any kind of adventure, aerosports, water sports, the trekking, mountaineering, anything you talk about. So take him also in the fold, all of us together, build up the next session, which is going to be taken on niche tourism, film tourism, and nature tourism, adventure tourism, spiritual tourism, agri-farm tourism. The recipient of the national award, he's also going to join us over here. थोड़े दिन पहले Shark Tank में भी गए थे. He's also coming. And Mr. Thawade, he will also be joining us from Maharashtra. There is a Agriculture Tourism Development Corporation. So he would also come over here and join us. With these words, I hand you over in a very safe hands of a cardiologist, Dr. Shilpi Mohan ma'am, all the way chairing the session from Central Asia. Hearty welcome, ma'am. Thank you and pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much. And first of all, my deepest condolences to you for the loss you have suffered in the family. And despite that, you have that brave heart to stand over here. We really salute you. We really salute you. And with these words, I move forward to the next session, which is niche tourism. So first of all, I'll introduce myself. I'm a cardiologist and a healer. And I'm associated with telemedicine with Apollo 24/7 and GeoHealth and different platforms. And I practice telemedicine here, as well as spiritual cardiology, as well as healer from this place of Central Asia, which is Kyrgyzstan, which is a very beautiful country. So since my association with ICSI in last 3 years, we have tried to connect people of this part of the world to India and try to work on medical tourism in different fields. Having said that, I want to bring this point in front of all the eminent speakers. I'm much junior to you, but in front of all the eminent speakers, I would like to say that as human beings, we always want to move from one situation to another, whether it is the social scale or it is movement from one place to another in our relationship. Every situation we want to move from one position to another. And that is why arguably tourism is one of the oldest profession since the onset of civilization. And tourism involves social, economic, as well as integrated growth. And it is not just one aspect, it includes all the 3 aspects. And now when we talk of digital, it involves the digital aspect as well. During my tenure, during my time in pandemic, I realized that telemedicine played a great role because it was one platform which integrated the patient requirement with the doctor. And since that time, the entire shift in focus is from offline treatment to integrate online treatment as well. It is not that offline will lose its role, but integration of an offline and online thing is very much required. I'll give you a very simple example for the same. There are many old patients who require a medical care where they don't need to go to visit the hospital, stand in the line, wait in the queue, spend the entire day just to get some correction in the treatment, which can be definitely done online. That is one. Then there are certain young patients also who don't want to lose out on those days of working hours or something, which can be done if the patient is connected to the doctor through telemedicine platform. So it is also helpful in identifying those patients who require immediate medical care. Earlier, what happened? the patient has chest pain, then he goes to the hospital, then somebody sees, and then the diagnosis of heart attack and other thing is made, and then the entire process starts. But now what happens is, when you immediately send the ECG on a telemedicine platform, the diagnosis becomes early, and then the integrating the patient becomes early. As far as medical tourism is concerned, the distance between Central Asia and India is so less. It is just 3.5 hours. It just from one part of the India to other part of the India, even if we travel, we require that much of time. So that time is less, and there are lot many hospitals which are playing a definite role in medical tourism, including the best super specialty centers of our country. So there are a lot of influx of patients from this part of the world to another part of the world. Earlier, pre-COVID era, what was happening was the doctors used to set up a camp over here and then take the patients there. Now what is happening is it is integrated because of the telemedicine platform. Having said that, now that we have this session, we have many of the eminent speakers with us. And Shri Harshvardhan Sen is there, Dr. Kirti Bhushan, he is there. Then Shri Sunil Sokti. These all people will be talking on different aspects of tourism, right from security to medical tourism to film tourism, then spiritual tourism by Shri Subhash Verma ji. Then Dr. Tarun Sandhu, he is from USA. And Dhammapiya SG, he's a Buddhist pilgrimage. And then we have Brigadier KG Singh, who is from Army background, who will be talking about how in Army Medical Corps, what are the visions in the field of medical care. So with these words, I want to proceed this session, and I would request Shri Subhash Verma ji to please share his valuable views on this aspect. Welcome. Sir, you're on mute, please. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Subhash, unmute.
Sorry. Yes, Dr. Shilpi Mohan, thank you very much. Yes, I known you through Dr. Gulshansharma because I'm also a part of ICSI now as an advisor. So this session was on niche tourism, and one of the topics is the spiritual tourism, where I was supposed to make few words in few minutes only. You see, I have been a man of travel and tourism all my life, 50 years. Tourism, yes. Spiritual tourism, yes, is one of the niche areas, but it is beyond something tourism. First, I must say that we must be very clear about spirituality. I think spirituality, sometimes people are thinking it's something out of this world. It's some mumbo jumbo, some deeper thing, some higher thing, something which is people are mostly not very clear. No, it is not, Seth. I call this as a science of life. There is art, there is science. When there is a synergy of both art and science, this is science of life, spirituality. Life is a part of whole spirituality is the life actually. So, and especially post-COVID, the word wellness in modern way, everybody is talking about wellness. And I think this is very true. Either you are in wellness or you are in a life mess. Wellness is the buzzword, the right word today, especially post-COVID. A lot of people have understanding and more relevance with the tourism. Now coming to this, in India, I think there is no doubt that India, like after we are being an IT leader of the world, I think the spirituality or science of life or holistic life and wellness living is our USP, where we have not taken this matter so seriously either for life or for tourism. So this is a time for us to really understand, to promote, to even market it properly, and it will definitely benefit the tourism, but not only tourism, it will help the world peace, world harmony. I think even United Nations today should understand that tourism through spirituality can be one big thing making, you see, lot of conflicts in the world going on, Ukraine to Russia to China and all. So what we need today is a people's voice. The spirituality will bring people's voice more than beyond media. All these things are spiritually. When I say yoga, Ayurveda, and lot of therapies and healings with India has it's as a treasure. This is the time now for us all to make use of this for everybody, for individuals, for families, for tourism, and for every state, for every and global one. I say a few things like in classrooms, meditation. You go to Oxford University, know their part of this is a meditation. And in India, still not. In students should be turned. Each school should learn, teach meditation. When I say a few words about this, I am myself into such practices, and I say a few things out of very genuine. When I do meditation, they think words come to my meditation. बाहर से चाहे भागते रहो, पर अंदर से तुम जागते रहो. This is spirituality. This is living holistic life. बाहर का चाहे कुछ मत छोड़ो, पर अंदर से नाता जोड़ो. रहना चाहते हो सदा सुखी, थोड़ा सा हो जाए अंतर्मुखी. These are few lines which genuinely not picked up from anywhere. It's my own meditations. I come to this. No problem is this, and in India, yoga like has become a word thing. Everybody's know in the whole world. You see, rather sometime go to Europe and USA. There are more yoga centers. I have seen. I traveled to Europe recently also. But Ayurveda is one thing where we need to promote. We have never done in India any R&D or any cohesive joint promotion on these things. Unfortunately, it needs a big thought over by all the stakeholders together coming in. There are a lot of people doing this in Ayurveda. Kerala is full of, there are so many centers, so many Ayurveda doctors, acharyas, but something like together coming in and promoting to the globe, to the whole world, it is the need of the hour. And then you will see how foreigners will come in, and also we can have Ayurveda centers all over the globe. And then other healings and therapies must be. We are not having any joint strategies. Like I always give a message of Singapore promotion. What Singapore does, the Singapore Airlines, the Singapore government, Singapore hotels, all promote first Singapore. Once the destination Singapore is promoted, then I may go to different hotel, you may go to a different hotel or different something like in India, a joint promotion on Ayurveda and therapies and healings, it should be done. And then India is a Vishwa Guru, at least spiritually, science of life. We can give this to the whole world. It's waiting for us. If you go out and you talk to tourists, the tourists are flocking to India. They want to come to India, but they don't know exactly where to go, what to do, all this. This is the need of hour, and I would say with these words that spirituality is today, tourism and beyond is a full life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shri Subhash Verma ji. Indeed, the words were really enlightening. And the words which you said, "Bahar ka kuch mat chodo, but andar ka jodo," really wonderful, really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your views. And now I invite Captain Swadesh Kumar ji to please share his views on this aspect. Thank you so much.
Well, good afternoon from India. Dr. Shilpi Mohan, our chair of this session. It's a pleasure and privilege to be speaking once again with this particular forum. You know, I have been in this adventure sports and tourism business for almost over 4 decades. Let me tell you a very simple thing. There was a time when it was everybody talk about adventure tourism, adventure sports, and we shifted the focus from sports to tourism. It came about 4 decades ago. There's a very thin line between tourism and sports. When you go for a sport, adventure sport, you want to climb a mountain, or you're doing a river rafting, or any excursion, anything you're doing, as a sportsman, then you're taking much bigger risk, and there you follow the guidelines and support, of course. But when you do tourism, safety is very important, paramount for a tour operator to see that every adventure activity is taking place in safety standards. So it's very essential, so that the tourist, we don't take adventure out of his hand, but let him enjoy the adventure, but in safety manners. So this is very important. Another thing I would like to tell my audience today is that what is the definition of adventure tourism? It is very simple. There are three aspects of life. One is there should be activity, there should be nature, and there should be immersion with the local communities. And in two things out of three, you are in the adventure tourism scene. So it's very simple and easy. And today, after the COVID, things have changed so much. I can't explain to you how much things have changed. Everybody wants to go to nature. Nobody wants to know that. Second thing is that every person would like to be ensured they go to a place which is not so many frequently visited, not mass tourism. An interesting thing I was reading the other day is that 1% of the world population tourism state is going to the cultural mass tourism. 6% of the actually go to adventure tourism or activity holidays. So adventure tourism has a huge potential. Coming to this, I would like to urge each one of you to understand one very basic thing, that India has a huge potential of adventure tourism. We are a 12 months destination. We have, you can come to any month you would like to come. There's some activities. There are three kinds of different adventure activities are there: land-based, air-based, and water-based. And we have all the potentials. 60% of people who come overseas to India are land-based, and probably trekking and hiking is very popular destination. However, the new trend is coming is bicycling tour now, which is another very interesting option of young students, young who come to it. Bicycling has come very, very popular now. I remember 40 years ago when we do a bicycling, it was Delhi, Agra, Jaipur. Now it's impossible to do because of the traffic. But now you do the bicycling on the back lanes of any area. For example, when you go to Agra, Jaipur, you don't on the highway, but you want to cut across to the villages and see the actual life. Another very important aspect today, in my opinion, is hiking, which I mentioned to you. Whether you're doing hiking in Himalayas, trekking in Himalayas, or hiking in Himalayas, or you're doing trekking in the big mountains, climbing expeditions. This is another very important aspect of it. Third aspect is water sports, is rafting, which has become very popular. Rishikesh is very important. But apart from Rishikesh, in rafting, in my opinion, has gone to any river you go. You can do a float. You can do you can have a 2, 3, 4 are the systems where you can do a rafting, easy rafting, medium soft rafting, or very risky rafting, whatever you call it, very potential risky rafting and things like this. But there's a possibility. So water sports has become very popular. Aero sports has become very popular. You have paragliding, parasailing, and stuff like this. I would urge each of our friends across the world, come to India. And especially invite the youngsters, young people to come here, bring school groups, college groups, and join a community of schools. For example, if you have a school students from, say, from Singapore, that matter from in Kyrgyzstan, for example, they want to come to India, they can have a connect with another school here. They can take youngsters can go along with them, and together they can go for a trek or hiking. And this is how we can do so. And finally, I would say that important thing is that cultivation to getting out of your environment, walking, hiking, cycling, whatever you want to do, please do it. It keeps you fit, healthy, and you have a huge potential in India. But last warning, I would like to say, follow the guidelines given by our association. I represent ATOI, Adventure Tour Operator Association of India. We have a safety guidelines book. There are 31 vertical different tours, the verticals of adventure tourism. Each vertical has safety guidelines. I would urge you to kindly please see that you follow the safety guidelines and follow so that it becomes safer and easier for them. Thank you, Dr. Shilpa.
Thank you so much for sharing your views. I would like to ask you a personal question. You look so fit at this age. So what is आपके सेहत का राज क्या है? Adventure sports है, and उसमें आपका favorite क्या है?
मैं एक बात बताऊं आपको, मैं मेरे से ये बात सुबह किसी और ने पूछी. He asked me what the age is. I say I'm 75 plus. I'm 75 4 months. He says, why are you walking so fast in the park? And I said, one of the reasons is our mind. If your mind says you're fit, you're fit. I don't watch TV news. I don't see negativity. I don't even look at it. I said, no, I'm not interested in watching it. I don't believe in COVID. I don't believe anything was happening. I believe in positivity. And second thing is, you have to be active in life. I have done climbs in the Himalayas. I have walked. Even I must tell you, when I'm doing a post-graduation, for example, I didn't apply for paper. I went to the mountains first. My priority was mountain climbing. I'm a mountaineer. And Dr. Shilpi Mohan, I must tell you, I've been trained by Tenzing Naruge himself, who was a man who climbed Mount Everest, first man to climb Everest. He was my guru. For 1 month, together we stayed in Darjeeling, and he taught me how to walk on the mountains. I love mountains. I'm a mountain climber. I'm a trekker. I have been to everywhere. And one reason, another thing, if you ask me a question, I will say that adventure tourism is not a cut and paste itinerary. Yes. You cannot cut and paste and say A to B to C to D. No, you have to go yourself before you actually take people with you, along with you. So it has to be basically very simple. And my secret of my life is I'm always remain happy, whatever happens. I take care.
Really nice, really nice and commendable. And I'm in Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is the land of mountains, and I have seen bikers coming over to Kyrgyzstan and then doing all the biking and other things, which you were mentioning in your. We can have an integrated program where we can have a group of Indians as well as people from here and integrate it. And then I would definitely wish to involve you in the entire process so that we can go ahead and do this.
In fact, if you do this, you're doing a big service to the community. Let's make a group of people who are interested in this kind of activities, and let's join them together. I will be very happy to coordinate with you, and let's bring people to this country, and Indians go to Kyrgyzstan, and that should be networking and cooperation amongst us. I'm very delighted to be part of your venture. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it.
Lovely.
And with this, I would like to wish Shri Subhash Verma ji a very, very happy birthday from Team ICSI. Today is his birthday, and I wish him a long, healthy, prosperous, and peaceful life.
No, it's not my birthday today. No.
I was told that it is your birthday.
Yeah, that's the official one, passport one was. My birthday is 17th March.
Yeah. Okay. Still all my
every day is a birthday.
Every day is a birthday.
We are born every day, so it's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now I would move to Japan, and I would request Mr. Shri Medankar ji from Japan to share his valuable input. Please unmute yourself, sir. Shri Vain Ravi Medankar ji, please. Chitra ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm very much there. Ravi Medankar sir, if you can hear us.
Yes.
Yes, unmuted. Sorry, sometimes we are not very technically advanced. Our country is technically advanced, but my age is now 67, so sometimes it is difficult. Thank you and I'm very happy that Dr. Sharma is doing so great work, and he has united all over the world. So Canada, America, Japan, India. So he's a very wonderful man. And it was my pleasure that I had been to his area, Chandigarh, and also so we could enjoy that one. Now, I would like to, as I have earlier said that my inner feeling is that Japan is the population is getting down and down. The main problem is that the people are not getting married. Even they are married, they don't want to produce the child. And the old group is growing. So this country now needs a lot of manpower, not only IT, also the people who can work in the fields, I mean, rice field, or also in the vegetable growing sectors. So there are a lot of demands also in electrical, and I mean, in almost every field, nursing is also one of the best choice, and they are good paid. So this is the time. And Dr. Sharma, we have discussion, already had a discussion, and then we decided to have 1 day free lesson to all the students who can join, because then the two section is there, TITP, that is a technical training. In that you need the Japanese government's N4 level of the Japanese. That is the second level of the Japanese. So you know to read the Japanese, and also you have to something writing also, because Japanese is easier for the Indian students in speaking, because it is same, like the grammar is same. Yah pen hai, koreva pen this. This is a this is for the is so that's very easy. So similarly, it is not like English. Their grammar is like Nepali or the Hindi language. So it's very easy for them to learn and understand. And many words, and also the most important, the pronunciation is similar. While in Chinese, one word, ma, if the accent is different, the meaning is different. So that problem is not in Japanese. Like ma, 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 ma. Then all four ma has a different meaning. So in Japanese, the plus point is this, that we have only one intonation, same like Hindi. So that's very good one. And the second one was SSW program. I have seen that one, SSW program. You don't need the Japanese, deeper Japanese. You don't need the N5 or N4, but you need to speak on the daily basis. You can compare like the TOEFL and the TOEIC. So in English, if you are going to America and you're doing the TOEFL for higher education and all these things, but TOEIC is just for communication. So SSW with the Japanese communication skill you need, and then you can come here and you can join. There's many places are vacant. I mean, and easily you can get Indian money on lowest salary will be 1 lakh rupees comparatively now the current rate. So it international that sometimes they're changing that one. So that's 50,000 they can spend on their own self, 50,000 they can send to India. That will be enough for, I mean, not luxury life, but normal life they can lead that one. And this program is for 3 years training. And our that ambassador is very recent ambassador, very interested to develop this relation, and he has also called that chief of that who is going to recruit them from India to Japan. So these are all, many prospects are there. So Japanese language is one of the barrier, and which is not a barrier because I told you, it is very easy for the Indian students to grasp. Now we have many students who are working here. They are from Maharashtra, then from South India. North India has not so many students, or the north side. But gradually now, as Dr. Sharma is interested to invest his time in north side, northeast, because Dr. Sharma and we have also been to the one conference organized by Modi ji, our Prime Minister, that was in the Advantage Assam. So that time also we discussed about how to develop the Assam area. So our PM is also very much interested in that area to develop. And now we have external affairs and education minister from that area. So these all things will make us to develop in Japan. Anything if you need from Japan, any help, most welcome. Even for visa section, if you have anything problem, just call us or call to Dr. Sharma, and we will do our best for that. Any question, most welcome, sir, because it's a very long discussion. And anybody who wants to join in our program, so just contact to Dr. Sharma, and then we will love to give every week a program, a free program, but you can use that one in your life. We need that. A lot of youth should come here and should join in Japan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vedankaji, for sharing your valuable views. And during these times of change in the relationship between different countries, India and Japan definitely share a very stable relationship, And because many of us listeners of this program are students, so very beautifully you have brought out that it is easy to understand Japanese language and learn it. Because right now I'm in Kyrgyzstan, and I know as far as Russian is concerned, intonation plays a very, very difficult role, and it is very easy to learn.
Yes.
But now that the listeners can utilize this knowledge that it is easy to learn Japanese, they can use this information and can get in touch with you and with the ICSI platform and take one step forward to bring both the countries closer together and go to that part of the world to see how things are growing, and then bring back the same knowledge here for their future generation.
Yes, not coming generation, not future generation. Just now, this coming generation will be get a good chance to stay in Japan, and that's very. I mean, anybody can grasp very fast because Japanese language. Because the most important, the grammar. Central Asia, I had been there when long ago, before 80s. So that time was different. Now the Central Asia is different. Now Bamiyan has broken this one, because there was my thesis, cultural contact between India and Central Asia. That was my topic on the thesis in the master course. So I traveled some places. That was the Chinese Turkestan, Russian Turkestan, inner part of Mongolia, and Tibet. So we did cover this area. But you are now in Central Asia, so very good, very happy to talk to you. So please let them come and let's see how we can do. And Dr. Sharma, I have requested him long ago, but now the things is coming. It takes everything to come on the time. So when the time comes, everything gets. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your valuable views. And now we move to Dr. Kirti Pradhanji, who is a very dynamic person, and he will share his views on medical tourism. Sir, please unmute yourself and share your precious views. Over to Dr. Kirti Pradhanji.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Esteemed audience, listeners, and interested delegates. This is a very precious moment to understand about medical tourism. Although the name sounds tourism, but actually it's human benefit. In the sense, medical tourism has been boon for the humanity. The medical knowledge, medical expertise is not uniform all across the world. But fortunately, as human beings, we all carry body, flesh, blood, cells, which is almost the same. And when we fall sick, we need expert hands to take care of us. But unfortunately, our world is not uniform in creating or producing expert skills. And hence, medical tourism is a great resource, a great help to the humanity. Coming back to India, India has played a major role in medical tourism because of its medical competencies, hospitals, human resources, and the large population and network base. And in terms of convenience, cost effectiveness, India gives very good platform, at least for the Asian and the African countries, to utilize medical services. And this medical tourism is growing each year from Asian and African countries to India. But with telemedicine in place, being a legal mode of medical delivery services, at least the non-surgical, non-interventional services, it can help patients from different countries seeking services, sitting at their own houses, own homes, and own region. That's a great advantage post-COVID. And many hospitals have started these services. So patient consultations can happen directly with the doctors of their choice, hospitals of their choice, and then they can travel if there is a need. Prior to that, there are a lot of fake middleman agencies involved in deciding for the patients which doctor to consult, which hospital to go, where to go, and all that. So technology has brought that kind of transparency, that kind of ethics, that kind of value system into the medical tourism space. And India is also trying to establish or share the competencies through capacity building in various neighboring countries. Although it's not easy to do that, but I think the efforts are on, at least till the secondary care services. If people can receive healthcare services sitting at their own home country, home state, and home regions, that's a great achievement for the humanity. Only they need to travel for high-end tertiary care services, which needs high-end equipment, highly specialized doctors, and highly specialized facilities. So medical tourism is becoming more and more specialized, refined, and all those issues, concerns, and challenges are slowly getting addressed due to adoption of technology, due to acceptance of technology, and also the legal approval by respective countries. Medical tourism also bringing in economy development for the countries who can afford to provide services to the developing world. And hence, the human resources capacity building is happening very rapidly in the health sector. lot of allied health capacity building is happening in different countries. Because to make it successful, allied health workforce is a very, very critical workforce in the entire domain of medical tourism and healthcare services to be effective and efficient. As a result, the new era of education, which has cropped up, and India has started a special council called Allied Health Council, which was not there earlier. Traditionally, we have been having medical council, pharmacy council, dental council, nursing council, but we never had until today, until 2021, literally, something called Allied Health Council. Now, we are fortunate to have that council under which the entire range of lab technology, imaging technology, OT technology, dialysis technology, cardiovascular technology, many such allied health skills are getting streamlined, and new education streams are cropping up as a result. In developing countries, we would have world-class healthcare human resources to serve the humanity for healthcare. And medical tourism is helping today for people to live longer. Earlier, due to lack of services, highly specialized services, and the tertiary services in most countries, many people can't survive or have untimely death. And today, at least 80 to 90% of those are fortunate enough to survive those catastrophic illnesses due to facility of medical tourism. And hence, my submission will be for all of us to see how best we can enhance the regions of medical tourism opportunities or services for many developing or smaller countries population to come and access them as per their paying capacity. I'll give an example. Let's say a particular tertiary care service is costing X amount in cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore. The same services can be made available in a smaller city or a B-class city, literally half the cost. And any human being with lower affordable capacity, let's say, can't access the hospitals in all big cities, will have the opportunity to save life with whatever affordability the family has to come to smaller towns and cities and seek the services. And that's something which need to be worked upon and make India's B-class cities, C-class towns and all that, where we do have hospitals for not so wealthy people from developing world to come and seek healthcare services. These are some of the points which I wanted to bring in this forum so that there is food for thought for all of us on how to move towards that direction of making the B and C class cities in India as medical tourism hubs, and also make telehealth available to all our neighboring countries who are not so well off to seek services through telehealth. And also, when our capacity, our human resources capacity is built in another 5 years' time, how can we build capacity of other nations for primary and secondary healthcare services? So medical tourism becomes more specific and much stringent with perfection and precision for tertiary care services to save precious lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kirti Pradhanji, for sharing your precise, concise and precious views on this topic, which is very close to my heart.
Thank you.
And this has definitely enlightened the listeners. And 3 points which you have brought out, I would re-emphasize on that telehealth has to be integrated, and it has to involve all the neighboring countries, from India to all the neighboring countries where it is required, because telemedicine is something which is a gift to us by the COVID. And definitely it has brought a paradigm shift in the healthcare. Class B cities should be involved so that the cost is reduced, and it will further lead to the development of those cities, because medical tourism brings with it the influx of better economy.
Yeah.
Number 3, medical tourism has not only increased the longevity, but as you have rightly brought out, that it has also improved the quality of life by better treatment and rehabilitation process. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your precious views.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Now I move to Dr. Tarun Sandhu. He will further share his views on one part of medical tourism, that is dental tourism. So please, I welcome you on behalf of on the behalf of ICSI. Please share your precious views on this topic.
Thank you, Dr. Shilpi Mohan, and again, thanks to Dr. Gulshan as well for inviting me. I was participating in this last year as well, so it's good to see some familiar faces, some new names on the panel as well. First, I'd like to wish everyone happy belated Lohri by a day wherever you are. So hope everybody is safe and healthy. In terms of dental tourism, so I think dental tourism is a little bit different from medical, and mostly the dental tourism is sought after when the demographic that looks for dental tourism is someone who usually is in need of a lot of treatment. So very rarely we see people with just one, maybe somebody needs a crown or root canal, looking for dental tourism avenues, but it's mostly somebody needs a full mouth rehabilitation, and it's just too expensive or their insurance doesn't cover it, and then they look for alternatives. So India is a great option for dental tourism. It's a great avenue. Of course, we have a lot of NRIs who are visiting family, who come back to India to visit family, and then for them, an added advantage is taking advantage of the little bit more discounted rates when it comes to dental services in India. One of the things that has changed, I think, over the past couple of years is teledentistry or telemedicine. The opportunity to do consults online virtually, I think that has really changed the way people perceive and just the accessibility that people have to dental tourism. And in our office here, Tri-City Smiles in Chandigarh, we do offer that as well to a lot of our international clients, where we can do a virtual consultation over the phone, over a video call. They can send in their x-rays, they can send in their photographs, and we can give our consultation over the phone and tell them what's needed, how much it's going to cost, how long it's going to take. So that helps people, that makes people more comfortable knowing what they're going to get into and how long it's going to take, how much it's going to cost. And so that has been a big paradigm shift. And I think now, especially with COVID, hopefully it's on the back burner now, but people want to know where they're going to get the treatment done. They want to know who's going to treat them. They want to see the office before they even go in. So all these things, virtual dentistry has really evolved. And I think moving forward, that's one of the things that I'm really excited about is people not being apprehensive about doing virtual consults and kind of getting in, knowing their dentist before sort of going in, getting the treatment started. Apart from that, I think there's not much that's changed from last year that I can comment on. We still, I think the demographic still remains in favor of a lot of North Americans who travel to India to get treatment done, people from Canada, US. They are the majority when it comes to who's seeking care in India, just because of how expensive things are, especially for those people who don't have dental insurance. And even though some people, most of employed people in the US would get some sort of dental insurance from their employer, but it's very far and few who get a comprehensive package. It's usually the things that get covered are cleanings and some fillings here and there, and then some percentage of surgical procedures like implants. So it does make a lot of sense for them. I don't know, Dr. Shilpi Mohan, is there anything else you wanted me to touch about, or Dr. Gulshan, is there anything else you want me to chime in? I cannot hear you.
Ma'am, your mic is muted, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sharing your views. I have one question, like, is it involving the technicians also in the process of skill development and other things? Like, are you getting to know of those things also in your practice, or it is just the dental services which we are looking into? Because the listeners would be looking for those things also. So I would like you to share your views on that.
Okay, are you asking in terms of training
Yes.
lab technicians?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've worked. Currently, we're working with 5 or 6 different labs pan India. There's some local ones here in Chandigarh, but there's also ones in Mumbai. There is a little bit of technical know-how that is missing or lacking in some of these labs, but I think that's easily upgradable. That just depends on the dentist. So there's a case where the lab technician doesn't know exactly what needs to be done, and then it's the dentist has to kind of train them and say, this is I want this crown or this prosthesis done in a certain way. And plus there's online resources. So really, I think there's no excuse for in this technology driven world that there's Facebook groups, there's online resources that give you free technical education. So most of these labs are pretty savvy in getting that expertise, via internet. And then I'm sure there's in-person courses that happen around India as well, where they go to once or twice a year to get those additional technical knowledge that they might need for their job.
Thank you so much. And I definitely agree with you that tele-dental services have a lot of scope in future, because dental procedure is one where emergencies are less, and it is an elective procedure where you have an heart attack, then definitely you have to immediately visit to the nearest hospital. You don't have those scopes to decide which, where, and whom to go. But as far as this being an elective procedure, tele-dental services play such a big role, because you can virtually see who is your doctor, whether you have that confidence, and it saves a lot of time rather than waiting in the clinic and undergoing all the stress. So it has got a long way to go. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable views, and thank you so much for being on this platform. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And then just one quick comment. I think we actually encourage our first-time patients to do
Yes.
conferencing. It helps them feel comfortable, and it helps me also gauge what's going on with them. And it's just so much easier than going into a dental office, driving whatever way, and then waiting. Like you said, you're investing so much time, and then, the outcomes could be hit and miss. Maybe you like the dentist you're going to, maybe you don't like them. So it's just so much easier to do it online and get that level of, develop that relationship just online. And then if it seems like, you're a good fit and I'm a good fit for you, then we can work things out. It's just a much more smoother relationship. So hopefully all the panel, that's just the tip for all of you. See, whoever is your local dentist, see if they offer tele-dentistry. And, it's just a much safer way as well. If you just need a consultation, just do it over video rather than actually going in a healthcare setting. So, yeah.
I agree with you. In my practice also, telemedicine, earlier I used to convince patient to come on the virtual platform. Now they want to come on the virtual platform because they say that I don't want to visit the clinic and wait in the outside the clinic. So
Correct.
here we had to convince, now they want it. So that is the shift. That is the shift in the perception which is required for the betterment of the patients, as well as to improve the quality time we can give to the patient. On the virtual platform, we can give more time. Sitting on the clinic, when you have 10 patients sitting on your head, then you cannot give that much of time to the patient.
Yeah.
So it is
Absolutely.
working both ways. It is working both ways in our profession. Thank you so much for your views.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now over to Major Dr. Gulshansharma ji for if there are any questions from his side and from those who are sharing on YouTube, please share it with the speakers. Dr. Gulshansharma sir or Chitra ma'am, if there are any questions which are shared on YouTube or you have any other questions, please share it with our eminent speakers.
Yes, ma'am. Niche tourism is no doubt it's a very important segment nowadays, especially after COVID. It is coming in a very good way. Specifically, I would like to ask a question from Subhash Vermaji from tourism point of view. So when we talk about niche tourism in particular, and we have seen that India has grown much for spiritual tourism, wellness tourism, and Ayurveda tourism. So what particular infrastructure as a tourism expert you think are actually missing specifically from the post-pandemic point of view to gain more momentum when we talk about India as a wellness destination or a spiritual tourism destination? What can be done specifically when we are seeing Buddhist tourists and other kind of pilgrimage tourists also? Thank you, sir.
Yes. It's a very good question. Yes, it's a very valid question because I spoke more of from heart about spirituality. But as far as spiritualism, we have a potential. But what we need is, number one, there is a Ayush, there is a government department, ministry. They are all doing certain things. But we need to more market. Like the foreigners want to come to India for spiritual learnings, not only yoga. Yoga is sure, definitely one part. Then Ayurveda. They want to come for spiritual knowledge. So there are not many people, not many tour companies, travel agencies offering a package completely, not visiting Golden Triangle and tourism only alone. A lot of people don't want. The packages for spiritual knowledge. People can come for 1 week. They will do a little bit yoga, some therapies and some meditations. And some resorts, they don't want to come in big hotel resort. They want to go to the natural resorts, standalone boutique resorts, where these services are offered. They want to be in the solace and they don't want to be like an ordinary tourist. So these things are lacking. And my request is to a lot of travel companies and tour operators, some are doing already, but more this to be done, and more marketing of this thing via Ministry of Tourism. And unfortunately, Ministry of Tourism is closing, rather close from 1st January, all the tourist offices abroad, but they will shift to some embassies and all. How they are going to do is not clear. So our marketing globally needs a lot of work, and that is what is need. And then number one, to make infrastructure, to make packages, certain resorts, selective resorts, and then also to market them. That's what is needed. And also, I think to be in spiritual tourism, if a travel agent, travel operator, tour operator, I must honestly say they must have some inclination of attitude of spiritualism themselves. It cannot be like a commercial business. Unless until you are into it little bit, even you understand, you do some practice, you learn little bit basic knowledge yourself, and then you can promote more. Thank you very much. I hope this satisfies.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. My next question, if Dr. Shilpi ma'am allows me to ask, ma'am,
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please.
So my next question is to Captain Swadesh Kumar, sir. So first of all, I'm really glad that you are here with us, and adventure tourism is something which every youngster wants to admire and want to pursue. So we have seen that, to be very honest, it has been said that India is actually not a destination for adventure, but in different forms. Yes, we I have heard, so I am just talking from my heart whatever I have heard, but my question is that in the past, from the past till present times, how have you seen changes in particularly in adventure tourism? And when we talk about security and safety of a tourist from adventure point of view, so what are your views on to that? So please guide us.
No, first of all, let me explain to you a very simple and straight thing. 2/3 of Himalayas in India, 1/3 is in Nepal and other places, Bhutan and other places. But unfortunately, because this started the tourism much earlier than adventure tourism much earlier, so India is lacking behind us. If everybody wants to go to Himalayas, they think of Nepal, not India. We're trying very hard to change this thinking. But please appreciate that 2/3 of Himalayas in India, so we all have to work. Another reason is Ministry of Tourism always talk of India as a palaces and forts and temples and not adventure, not nature. So crucial question is that let's talk of India as a nature destination, nature. Why not? Himalayas in India, why not promote nature? So we're pushing very hard to the government, please promote India as a adventure destination. Please appreciate one more point, and that is that we, in Nepal, for example, there are 3 religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, and tourism. Tourism is a religion for them. So many countries have religion, tourism, but India is just a starting point of it. So this is how it is. We hope that India also becomes an adventure destination in the world. Second question is of risk element and stuff like this. Let me explain to you, there is no risk. Okay, in terms that adventure is a inherent risk, is a parcel of our activities, inherent. But if you take safety precautions, I think you are secure. Please understand, accident can take place anywhere. Even you're driving a car from Delhi to Agra, accident can take place if you're not careful. So going to the mountains, please appreciate that accident will go wrong. Accidents do take place because of not taking precautions. What's happening today is that we have safety guidelines, but not safety rules in this country. We're telling the government to make safety rules. At present, only safety guidelines made by our association. So hopefully, safety guidelines will be converted to safety rules. Another thing is there's no licensing authority for mountain guides. There's a licensing authority for a tourist guide to go to say about they want to explain Taj Mahal. I can't go and do it. I can't be a tourist guide because I have no license. But however, I can take you to the mountains, even though I have no license. So I think we're telling the government to have a licensed adventure guides, as in the overseas countries are. So these are some of the things we're trying. And if that happens, that'll be very important. And there are many institutes for teaching people things like this. But things are getting better and better. Training is, there's a huge, huge demand. Please appreciate that adventure tourism gives employment to the far-flung areas of the Indian, whether Himalayas, the desert, and coastal area. Youngsters can get a jobs and opportunities. And therefore, it is so important to promote this area of this segment of tourism industry. Thank you, Chitra.
Thank you, sir. And please allow me to humbly submit that film tourism has always played an important role for all of us to guide us more about tourism. And recently, I watched one movie called icsiindia that is completely on Everest. So watching that, actually, we want to go. It gives us a feeling that we should go there.
No, 100% I agree with you. That the movie is absolutely exciting and encouraging. And I think communication is very key. Today, in the world of communication, you have to communicate with the world, telling the people, hey, let's go and let's do it. Instagram or Facebook or this and these are the things, and especially the movies. They're very, very exciting, very inspiring for youngsters. I think what we need to do is we need to invite young adventure experts who has done a huge training. Climbing Everest is one thing, of course, who have done around the world on a bicycle or a car, on a river, whatever you do it. They should, inspiring speakers should come and talk about their experience. What motivated them to do it? For example, what motivated me to do this profession was primarily because I'm a sportsman. I thought it's better to bring people in a safety environment. So I shifted my focus from adventure sports to tourism. So this, everybody has his own reasons to do it. Let's call people and with a inspired young. I agree with you. The movie is absolutely wonderful movie. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Shilpi ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chitraji, for your questions and the eminent speakers for their valuable input. And now I would request Ma'am Dolly Bhashinji to please, she wants to raise some questions. So I request her to please share her questions. And after that, I would request Mr. Narendra Nashikarji to please introduce himself and share his valuable views. Over to
Thank you.
Dolly Bhashinji.
Thank you, madam. I'm basically from IT side, but service sector is my passion, applying service sector automation in the service sector. And I'm very curious to know about does medical tourism in India cover telemedicine, remote care, medical and nursing services, or medical conferences, online medical, continuing medical education, because these are covered in the international medical tourism, but I'm not very sure about India, and I don't see anybody being able to give me a right answer. So I'd like to really know from the extreme. There are, I think, multiple specialists here on medical tourism today, including you, madam. So I'd like to know what is the exact position in terms of, because there are a lot of companies that I know who are working on remote care during the pandemic. They were actually doing a lot of caregiving activities remotely to hospitals in the US and some other countries, providing critical care. So that's ICU, remote ICUs. So what kind of, does it get covered under medical tourism? And also the continuing medical international conferences that happen. There are so many conferences that have shifted to India, and it's a huge opportunity to be treated as a tourism activity, especially under medical tourism, because it's for medical this thing, and it's they stay in Goa or XYZ cities, and the long conferences, 3 to 5 days, which is a lot of potential which is being lost right now. So I'd like to know what is the position statement from the point of view of the government and the practitioners.
So first of all, I'll share my views, and then I would request Dr. Kirti Pradhan also to please share his views, as well as Shri Subhash Verma ji, if he really wants to share his views. My input on this topic is the questions which you have raised. Telemedicine, yes, there are various telemedicine platforms in India which are working, including Apollo 24/7, then GeoHealth, then Tata Group, and there's so many which are there, and it is actually working to provide and involve most of the patients and create a database and then connect different hospitals and extend their services to rural care as well. And it is also being integrated with Ayushman Bharat project as well. As far as online medical education is concerned, yes, we have online conferences, hybrid conferences. CardioCon is one of them, which I know and I frequently attend. And there are various other conferences also which provide, which is a hybrid conference. Earlier, during pre-COVID era, it was also only offline. But now we have hybrid who can come over there. They do go there and attend. And otherwise, there are people who can attend online as well. So this is how it is going. A lot of work is being done, and there are a lot many things ongoing in this.
The question is, do they get the benefit of medical tourism? Do they count in the medical tourist data?
May you please
medical tourism. See, medical tourism, whatever is the opportunity that we are taking, is only on medical travel per se. There is hardly this particular count might actually exceed a lot more if we also include the medical conferences, especially in the hybrid mode. And even there are physical conferences that are happening. I know all international conferences, 30 to 40% of them are basically medical conferences, and ranging from all kinds of this thing, including API and some of the other international associations conduct their annual conferences in India. I mean, is that data getting counted in the medical tourism per se?
I have a limited knowledge on this, because whether as far as education platform, this conferences data is included or not, I would like Dr. Kirti Pradhan to please share his views. But as far as medical data is concerned, definitely this project is on, where we have a pool of data, and a lot of work is ongoing on that field. So yeah, Dr. Kirti Pradhan, please share your views on this aspect.
Okay, madam. I think what you have said is correct, absolutely correct. Madam, this medical tourism and medical value travel, these concepts are only for human life. Rest other things you are talking about, conferences, meetings, this, that, all, those keeps changing. They don't just come to India, they go to any other country. If you take any conference of any medical group or specialist groups, they keep changing their locations. Sometimes they do it in Malaysia, sometimes they do it in Indonesia, sometimes they do it in India. So that has no relevance to data collection for medical tourism. Medical tourism act or the rule or the policy has a very, very specific mandate.
Yes.
People traveling for healthcare as a whole, it can be allopathic, Ayurvedic, yoga, whatever way, the treatment has to happen. So that's a special policy. It doesn't capture about conferences, meetings, and all that.
And telemedicine?
Telemedicine is a tool. Telemedicine is a tool of healthcare. It's not a separate vertical like we call. There are three types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. So telemedicine is a tool which can be used in any of this.
Yes.
No, when I say, I meant telemedicine for remote care. So, for example, there is remote care possible today for ICUs, even ICUs.
Very little.
Yeah, all that is the new innovations, madam. This ICU, remote ICU is a concept which is being tried right now. A lot of innovators have come up with this idea. People are just trying it out. It has not been a policy of the country.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. And now I would request Mr. Shri Narendra Nashikar ji to please come on stage and then share his views. Shri Narendra Nashikar ji, welcome.
Hi everyone, hello. My name is myself Narendra Nashikar. Basically, I am a journalist. My friend Mr. Ravi Medankar, he's introduced me this webinar. That's why I join it. It's a good
Welcome.
opportunity for medical fields and all other peoples also. I like it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this session. This was really a wonderful session and it was great hearing all of you. Over to Major Dr. Gulshansharma ji.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shilpi Mohan ma'am, for bringing this wonderful panel, wonderful discussions over here, right from Subhash Verma ji, Captain Sudesh Kumar, Engineer Dolly Bhasin ma'am, and my friend Dr. Kirti Pradhan, and most respectable Dr. Shilpi Mohan ma'am, and my younger brother, like a friend from United States, Dr. Tarun Sandhu, who is towards dental tourism. I made a request to him and I wish to share with the global fraternity. On my request, he has opened his own dental clinic besides US in the Tri-City, and the name he has given Tri-City Smiles. So it smiles during daytime, it smiles during nighttime, because dental treatment can be taken any point of time by anybody. You do not know what time the dental pain will start. So that's why he has given the Tri-City Smiles, is shining all the time. And Venerable our Ravi Medankar ji, so pleasure having all of you. Now, Kirti Pradhan ji, what comes to my mind, and very seriously, I don't know. First of all, the term travel agent should be changed. There is no agent, right? It's a travel facilitator. It's a travel counselor. We all should use, advisor, travel facilitator, travel counselor, any term you can give.
Medical travel advisor.
Medical travel advisor. Okay, so medical travel advisor.
Consultant, like that, travel consultant.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you say medical travel advisor, the thing gives me something very nice, because 1989 I designed when MBA tourism. We were calling it Masters in Tourism Administration also. So that's good. That goes pretty fine, and I feel very happy about it. Now, what comes to my mind, I do not know how to go by before we close this particular session. When I look at medical tourism, Dr. Kirti Pradhan ji had been telling me times and again, Dr. Saab, too many webinars, too many seminars, too many conferences, celebrations, deliberations, and congratulations, and eating, meeting, and greeting, the conferences of the mice. All that is fine, but where is the practical meat? Let me share with you, my heart always beats little faster when I think about medical tourism, because the moment you say the travel agent from the home country is going to send a patient to India, so that guy is going to get his commission or service charges. I don't know what exactly is going to happen over there. The person who has brought over here, and the person who has come over here, and who handles him over here, I do not know, in the SOP, standard operating procedure, where do we bring the component of ethics, whether operation needed or not, whether surgery needed or not? Because I don't want to tell anybody that aap beeti ho to fir insaan ko zara zyada lagta hai. I had undergone one particular medical surgery, and when I had undergone that, the doctor became my friend afterwards. And after 8 years in the morning walk, he told me, मेरी और आपकी दोस्ती तो नहीं चली जाएगी? मैंने कहा नहीं जाएगी, बताइए। कहते मैं आपसे कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ, मेरे मन पे कुछ बोझ है being a doctor। मैंने कहा आज कह डालिए जो कुछ भी आपके मन पे बोझ है, please tell me what it is there. He says, you know, in such and such year we operated you, that was not to be done, but we were getting your insurance, that's why we operated you. Now, my question and my challenge again and again it comes on, अगर कोई कुछ वक्त पहले अमृतसर में पकड़ा गया किसी की किडनी निकालते हुए, एंड देयर वाज अ केस कोई किसी और जगह, मुझे सिर्फ एक ही बात से डर लगता है। डॉक्टर कीर्ति प्रधान जी, आप मुझे हमेशा कहते हैं, एंड यू आर सच ए लेजेंड, यू आर सच ए वॉरियर ऑफ द मेडिकल टूरिज्म। आप इतने अच्छे इंसान हैं, इतने अच्छे स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट हैं, आपकी इतनी नॉलेज है, इतना सब कुछ है, मुझे कहीं एक एलिमेंट जो मिस मिलता है वो एथिक्स का मिलता है कि मैं उस यार्ड स्टिक से कौन से बैरोमीटर से नापूं और जिससे मुझको ये पता लग जाए कि यार इस इंसान को क्या वाकई ये प्रॉब्लम थी या इस प्रॉब्लम ना होते हुए भी हमने इसको ऑपरेट कर दिया। उसके लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? हाउ टू ब्रिंग एथिकल टूरिज्म with medical tourism. That's what is my concern. And I always get worried and I withdraw myself from this component in this segment of tourism. I never want to get into, but I do not know. अभी मान लीजिए मेरा डेंटल ट्रीटमेंट है तो मुझे पता है कि मेरा रूट कनाल होना है, मुझे नजर आ रहा है कि ये चीज है, मैं देख सकता हूं, महसूस कर सकता हूं एनेस्थीसिया को। अब मुझे कुछ चीजों का पता ही नहीं है मेडिकल में। आई एम नॉट क्वालिफाइड फॉर दैट. I do not know my own autonomy. I do not know my whole body. What is happening inside? You know,
Sir,
so
yeah. No, sir.
बताइए.
There are solutions. Nothing to worry.
बताइए.
Unfortunately, people, due to lack of awareness, they don't go for that. There is something called medical second opinion, medical third opinion, medical fourth opinion. Okay. So now, I am going to a dentist. If I have any doubt that she's taking me for a ride, I will go to Tri-City Smile. Okay. And consult Dr. Tarun. And so there are ways. This is called second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion. You can take up to 10th opinion as long as you're not clear that whether somebody is taking you for a ride. That's number one. Number two, in our world, in every field, for every crook, there are three good people. There are crook hospitals and there are good hospitals, ethical hospitals also. Amongst us, within our surrounding, within our geography. Okay. So, but the service seeker or the service seeker's counselor or the advisor need to guide appropriately to the patients at the time of need. That's critical. So, but these are there in place. Check and balance system is there.
Okay. If you say, I take it, sir. Because you're the professional, I take it, sir. I take it. Dr. Shilpi ma'am wants to say something. Yeah.
Yeah. This is something which is relative, not an absolute. Because wherever there are good people, there will be bad people as well.
But
how we can reduce this?
Kirti ji has given the ratio 1:3.
Part of life everywhere.
We can make it 1:10 or 1:100 by doing these things. First of all, improving the awareness of the patient, which can be done by better awareness program. That is number one. Number two, telemedicine can definitely play a role in this, because as said, we can do a window shopping. I'll not use the word, but we can meet different doctors on telemedicine platform and then decide which is the best for us, rather than moving from one clinic to another and then lose hope and then say, okay, jo bhi hai chal jayega, koi baat nahi, kar lete hain. So in that, telemedicine can definitely play a role, where we can meet 5 doctors on a telemedicine platform and then decide with confidence, yes, I want to go ahead with this, and then take a chance. Everything depends on a matter of chance. But yes, this will reduce the probability of getting an unfair treatment in wrong hands.
Okay.
But Dr. Gulshan, I want to just add, the pure ethics can only come via spirituality.
Yes.
This is my conviction.
Okay.
That's one way to reduce.
जब उसको खौफ होगा कि अगर मैं गलत करूंगा तो मैं नरक में जाऊंगा, तो शायद वहां पर कुछ एथिक्स. लेकिन सर मैं क्या बताऊं, मतलब I get so worried. You know, all the time I get jolted by Dr. Kirti Pradhan. I love him, I respect him, I adore him, his devotion, his dedication. ये सिर्फ एक सेगमेंट है टूरिज्म का जिसमें मैं हमेशा पीछे हट जाता हूं, क्योंकि मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं आता. मेरे चारों तरफ मैं ऐसा माहौल देखता हूं, मुझे लगता है कि I don't know how to find. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that, but
I understand you. I understand this element.
I don't know how to put it across. I do not know, because all doctors are around. I am just a non-qualified person talking over here. But you know,
Right.
somewhere there is a fear of unknown in my heart and my mind कि मुझे एक अच्छा डॉक्टर मिल जाए. अब मैं आपको रियली बता रहा हूं, आज तक मैं डॉक्टर शिल्पी मोहन मैम से नहीं मिला. Last 3 years I have never met her in person till date. But somewhere the confidence in the family has built up. I have been taking a teleconsultancy from her for my mother. My younger brother, when he became very serious after the second wave, I consulted her, I contacted her, and she suggested, and my brother recovered. मैं इनसे मिला भी नहीं हूं, लेकिन एक ऐसा डॉक्टर मिल जाना, वो पता नहीं, मतलब बड़ा मुश्किल भी है, सौभाग्य से भी है, कुछ ऐसा भी है, लेकिन कोई अच्छा डॉक्टर मिल जाए. इसीलिए लोग कहते हैं ना, आपका फैमिली डॉक्टर कौन है. So that is something very important. Medical tourism has got a tremendous potential. Medical tourism can do wonders in this particular country. With medical tourism, we can have spiritual tourism, wellness tourism, health tourism. जो भी जोड़ना है जोड़ दीजिए आप. लेकिन डर एक ही रहता है, मुझे एक अच्छा डॉक्टर दे दीजिए, डॉक्टर कीर्ति प्रधान और डॉक्टर शिल्पी मोहन मैम जैसा, जो कम से कम एथिकल तो हो, मुझे कोई तकलीफ ना हो और मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम ना आए, और जो ट्रीटमेंट के लिए मैं किसी को भेजूं, उस आदमी को ये खौफ ना हो कि मेरा कौन सा पुर्जा निकाल लेंगे, जो 10 साल के बाद पता लगेगा कि ये पुर्जे की. गॉड ने बॉडी ऐसी बनाई है कि मतलब कभी सोचा ही नहीं था कि हार्ट के लिए आप पैरों के अंदर से नीचे से वेन्स निकालते हैं. अच्छा, मैंने कभी सेकंड कोरोना की वेव से पहले सुना ही नहीं था कि कोई वेस्कुलर प्रॉब्लम के अंदर स्टेंट आपके पैर के अंदर नीचे भी डलते हैं. When I contacted Dr. Shilpi ma'am, she guided me. I went to the Fortis Hospital, Max Hospital with my younger brother, moving from hospital to hospital. And, you know, so many people are still suffering as a repercussions of the corona. The multiplier effect of those pains are coming now. I do not know what it is. एक अच्छा डॉक्टर मिलना बहुत जरूरी है. अगर किसी को अच्छा फैमिली डॉक्टर मिल जाए और अच्छे लोग मिल जाएं किसी तरीके से, लेकिन करूं क्या? आप पुलिस वाले को लेते हो, ट्रैफिक वाले को, तो वो पेड़ के पीछे खड़ा होता है रेड लाइट के कि कब ये लाइन क्रॉस करे और मैं इसको लाइन क्रॉस करने के बाद गाड़ी रोकूं और इसको कहूं कि डॉली मैम 100 रुपए ही दे जाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, नहीं तो देखो लाइसेंस दे दो, नहीं तो आरसी दे दो, नहीं तो आपको कोर्ट में आना पड़ेगा. डॉली मैम कहती है कैमरा नहीं लगा हुआ, 100 रुपए साइड से ले लो, मेरे को छोड़ दो. द थिंग इज, व्हाट डू वी डू? How do we do? Are we there to support you? Or are we there to basically catch you? Or are we there to, because we are ignorant? मैम ने जो बात और कही, और डॉक्टर कीर्ति जी ने भी, कि हमें अवेयरनेस भी बढ़ानी पड़ेगी मेडिकल की. अब I had never heard, I had heard कि there are 3 arteries of the heart. एक मेन आर्टरी होती है, 2 छोटी होती हैं. मुझे आयोटा नाम का कोई चीज ही नहीं पता थी आज तक कि क्या होती है. Yesterday in the PGI, for the first time, I learned there's something known as aorta. और ये कैसे, कहाँ बस्ट होती है, क्या होता है, मुझे पता ही नहीं कई चीजों का. So I think awareness also has to be increased in a great way. That also we have to take. And the people, those are travel advisors, travel facilitators, and travel counselors. और क्या term दिया था मेडिकल वालों ने? MTA, medical tourism advisors. I think all of us, we got to have a separate session where we understand the whole human body and what all can go wrong with it, when, where, which way. Next year, when I meet Dr. Kirti Pradhanji, I'm pretty sure besides conferences and digital media, we would have done some programs on ground also. We will try and take something ethical. Captain Sudesh Kumar ji, I know आपका राज क्या है कि आप कभी ओल्ड नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि एडवेंचर के लोग हमेशा ही यंग रहेंगे. कभी ऋषिकेश में हैं, कभी देवप्रयाग में हैं, कभी रुद्रप्रयाग में हैं, कभी कर्णप्रयाग में, कभी माउंटेन्स में हैं, कभी कहीं हैं. He is doing a great job, and let me tell the whole universe, he is the founder of Adventure Tourism Association of India. We all should understand that the adventure tourism formulation of the body came with this gentleman. He's a great soul. और कोई ये ना कहे कि मैं मेजर आर्मी से हूं इसलिए इनकी तारीफ कर रहा हूं. ये कैप्टन आर्मी के नहीं है, ये पायलट है. ये कैप्टन वो वाले हैं जो असली कैप्टन है, उस तरफ के. Thank you with these words. Thank you very much everybody. And Dr. Tarun Sandhu also, I'm grateful to you. Dr. Kirti Pradhan also, and Bhante ji also, Captain Sudesh ji also, and Subhash Verma ji also, and Engineer Dolly Bhasin ma'am. I must respect and appreciate your energy. सुबह से आप जुड़ी हैं योगा, meditation और wellness और spiritual tourism के साथ. I'm so grateful to you. And Chitra, of course, तुम्हारा तो बेटा session है. You have to take the journey forward for everybody. With these words, thank you very much for joining us. And we would be moving on to next. There is a great thing coming from UAE in a big way. That's a future of digital education. Technology in education will enable the future fluencies of education. मैं बच्चे को home schooling कराऊं, कि मैं बच्चे को school में भेजूं, or do schools kill creativity? There are a couple of issues we are going to discuss in that with a gentleman, that's Arpit Dugar, joining us from Dubai in a little while. We will take on that particular session. Chitra ma'am, please go ahead with your feast, Forum of Educators and Scholars of Tourism. With these words, Dr. Shilpi ma'am, great gratitudes to your entire team and to you. Thank you very much. God bless all of us. Thank you.